Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't already tell by this whole thing, I am reminiscing back on my graduation, which was 3 years ago. Wow, I'm old. But yeah, you know, that's what I'm doing. Obviously, I couldn't wear this because my hair's in a bun, and yeah, but I thought today's video, since it is graduation season and my old high school's graduation is this coming weekend, and so I thought I would just sit down and give you guys a few tips and tricks on things that I used to help me get through graduation. So yeah, I thought today would be a quick little video on that. So the first thing I want to say is this thing is extremely, and I mean extremely, hot, okay? Especially if your graduation is taking place outside in the direct sun, you are going to be burning up. Take it from me, my graduation was in the morning on a Saturday, no clouds in the sky, and the sun was beaming down with no wind, okay? There was no breeze, there was no wind, there was nothing, and I was literally dying. I kept unzipping this thing like it was ridiculous, like, oh my god. But I got through it. We all got through it. We were sweaty and disgusting and gross, and I barely took any graduation pictures because of that fact. So I don't really have that many graduation pictures because I was like just ready to leave at that point. But anyway, the actual first tip is your makeup, okay? Personally, I didn't really wear like a full beat face of makeup to my graduation. At most, I had my brows, mascara, a little bit of liner. I just didn't know that much about makeup back then, except for eyes and brows, and barely brows because I went and got my brows done. So I didn't know anything about filling them in and making them look fuller or anything like that. So my tip is, especially if you're oily, if you are thinking of wearing a full face of makeup, you know, for the pictures and, you know, just to look nice and everything, set your makeup down with powder, okay? As long as you honestly like kind of bake your face a little bit with a lot of powder. It doesn't have to be like a lot of powder, but just to set down everything, especially if you're oily. Like I have combo skin, I have an oily T-zone, and I'm dry everywhere else. Just set down your makeup. And if you choose to wear a lip, I would either choose like a gloss, you know, something that you could just reapply right before you walk across the stage, or just go ahead and choose a matte lip because it's gonna last long and you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, trick number 2, or tip number 2 I should say, is the cap. Most of us have large heads. It's just a thing, and these caps don't really fit us. So especially if your hair is like big and puffy, like at the time of my graduation I had straightened my hair, so I didn't really have this problem. But if I wouldn't have straightened my hair and had it nice and pinned down, this was what I would have done. I would have taken bobby pins and I would have pinned my actually, yeah, no, it goes this way. The stretchy part, by the way, goes in the but in the front, my bad. I would have like taken this and like pinned it down to my hair, which I didn't really need to do that because my hair was straightened anyway, so my cap just kind of fit on my head. But with my natural hair, a trick that I learned for my cousin's graduation, because her hair is more puffy and thick naturally, is to take a headband, like a, you know, I wish I had one to show you, like I do, but I'm just too lazy to get up. You know, just like a headband that you put on to keep your hair back. Take that and glue it to the inside, like hot glue it to the inside of your cap. So that way your cap is sticking to that, the headband is on your head, and your cap can't fly off and go anywhere unless you're actually going to take your cap off and throw it into the air after you know, they say move your tassel from the one side to the other. So that's my tip number 2, is to make sure that you secure your cap to your head using bobby pins, doing the little glue trick. Tip number 3 is your shoe choice. This is mainly geared toward my ladies out there. And the cap tip number 3, however, is for those of you who are thinking of wearing heels. I did wear heels. Mine were wedges though, so those aren't really like heels or anything. this is not the shoe that I wore. I just recently bought these shoes, but this is what I would suggest wearing, especially if your graduation is outside. If your graduation is indoors and you have, flooring and all of that stuff, wear whatever you like because you're secure. But for those of us who have larger classes like 500, 600, 700, pushing 800, and you have to have yours outside because a facility isn't big enough, I would suggest wearing a shoe that looks like this, like a thick blocked heel, or a wedge, like the kind that connect this to this and fill in all of this. That way you have support. Because if it rains the night before your graduation or even the morning of, if the ground is soft and you have to like walk through the ground, you have a nice platform to get you, from one place to the other, and you're not sinking, your heels aren't sinking into the ground and you have to like pull them back out. Your shoes could break and snap, and nobody wants that. But this is what I would suggest wearing, something that looks like this, a block heel or a wedge. What I would not suggest wearing if your graduation happens to be outside is something that looks like this, because this will sink down into the ground and you'll have to fight to get it back out. It'll mess up your shoes. Like, this all would be dirty, and like nobody wants that. So do not wear anything that looks like this, especially if your graduation's outside, the weather's terrible the night before or the day before, depending on if yours is at night or in the morning. I would just not suggest wearing something like this. It's cute for pictures, of course it is. It might pull your outfit together depending on what type of dress you're wearing, but it's just, for your safety, because there were a lot of girls who wore these type of shoes to my graduation, and I hate to laugh, but yes, no, yes, no. This is going to have support. This is going to probably get your ankle twisted out of shape and probably break your neck depending on how you fall. So, you choose wisely, okay? Okay. Tip number 4 is, it's kind of hard to do, but it's not hard to do. Smile no matter what. I don't care if you're sitting in your row and your name hasn't even been called. Smile. Because I'm telling you, the amount of photographers that are going to be at a graduation, whether they're with the school, they're private, they're with the band, they're with the chorus, they're with this group, that group, it does not matter. All of these pictures will end up somewhere, and you don't want to be caught off guard looking crazy, because it will happen, okay? Especially when you're walking up to the stage or when you're walking across the stage. Just make sure that you're alert. People are going to be screaming your names, and you're going to be looking around trying to find your family in the bleachers or in the crowd, and you're going to be like looking crazy and stuff. I get it, but especially when you're walking up to the stage, just smile in every direction, because I'm telling you, these cameras are out to get you. There were so many pictures of I was going through the company. I can't even remember. I know JPR here and where I'm from is pretty much who takes all the pictures, but there was another company, and I went on their website to look at the Vero graduation class of 2015, and there were so many pictures of me, not just me, but everyone in general. They got some good ones, and by good ones I mean ones that you just don't want to be on the internet. I'm not even kidding. It's just crazy, because they're everywhere, so just make sure when you're walking towards the stage, when you're walking across the stage, when you're shaking your principal's hand, when you're shaking the guidance counselors and these people and that people, just make sure you smile, okay? This is serious, because you want your candid pictures to come out really well, so just make sure you smile, okay? Tip number 5. Okay, so tip number 5 is mainly for my ladies, again, out there. If your graduation, it's not it's a mandatory thing to wear white for girls, but traditionally, most girls do wear white. And I'm not just talking about the gown. I mean, obviously, I'm not wearing white underneath, but traditionally, girls just wear white, like a white dress, a white jumpsuit, a white romper, whatever. We usually wear white. So just be mindful of what you're wearing underneath your dress, like bright colors, you know, especially if you end up taking your gown off, you know, for pictures. You want to get a good picture of your outfit. If you're just, you know, hot obviously, and you want to take this gown off, please just be careful of your undergarment choices. I would say, I'm trying to say it in a nice way, but there were so many girls at my graduation, my cousin's graduation, who was 2016. I had to go to the graduation last year I had friends and family at, and I see it every single year. And it's like, how do their family members not like tell them, you know, don't wear like bright pink underwear, don't wear like neon yellow, like this stuff is going to be seen. And I'm telling you, as referring to tip number 4, pictures are going to be taken and you're going to be everywhere, okay? And these companies, they don't care. They're going to post these pictures all over the internet. You know, maybe you might not be able to see them or you might not find them, but they're there. And I just don't want anyone to feel insecure about wearing white. So just make sure you wear skin tone undergarments, or just put black on underneath. You know, most dresses come with like what we call a slip, you know, like a thin piece of something to, you know, that's stuck on the dress to kind of give you that coverage that you're looking for. So just be mindful, you know, wearing white. Some white is more transparent than others, mainly depending on the material. So just be cautious of that, you know, you're wearing white. So, you know, just be cautious of them. Those are my 5 major tips and tricks that kind of helped me get through my graduation. So I hope that these tips were somewhat helpful to you. I know that there's a lot of more tips out there that could be given, but these are just the ones that I kind of like went by, you know, when I was graduating. These are the tips that, you know, I was told from, you know, people that graduated before me. They were like, hey, you know, this is really going to help you out. So I'm hoping that this video is helpful and insightful to you if you're graduating this year or next year or whenever. And I hope that you guys have a good rest of the day wherever you are. And please subscribe to this channel. And if you have any other helpful tips and tricks that I perhaps missed or that was really helpful to you, please comment them down below to help someone else out. And subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!